Okay, it's 8 PM, it's the middle of August, and I've had a fantastic ride on a fantastic hill climb above Hebden Bridge. And I've already cycled 28 miles, and I can feel it actually, because around here it's very unforgiving. And I've had a great descent off a long causeway where I maxed out at over 45 miles per hour. Anyway, the video started back down there in Littleborough a few hours ago. I'm a cyclist and I live in the Pennines, and welcome to my channel. And today we're climbing a classic hill climb that's been used in the milk race many a time in the 1980s. I call it Mytholm Steeps, and it's one tough climb with many switchbacks just outside of Hebden Bridge, and it's felt pretty quick down the valley today as well. At one point I was keeping up with the traffic at 33 miles an hour down the valley into Todmorden.
So here we are, 10 miles down the valley, about to turn left and start this classic climb. And for any exceptionally hilly rides, like this one today, I use a Rally Ravino Carbon 3, which is a fully loaded sportive bike with Shimano Dura Ace 9000 throughout. It's a very lightweight bike, very comfortable, and it's got the gears I need to get up these massive climbs. And let's have a look at some of the climbs that we're about to take on. First of all, this is a steep, tough climb, with averages of over 17% through the midsections, and the steeper parts being at around 25%. The serious part of the climb is about 1 mile long, where a good time for the mountain goat is between 6 and 7 minutes. Or, if you're prepared to dig that little bit deeper, you can keep going for 2 miles with an elevation gain of 227 metres or 749 feet from the valley below. A top time here is around 9 minutes. And if you're seriously into climbing, you can keep on going. You can climb from the bottom of the valley at 345 feet above sea level for 3.77 miles to the Plateau, which is around 1400 feet, giving you an elevation gain of 1038 feet or 314 metres. By at which stage you'll know you've done a climb. So here we are now taking on one of the first major corners, where you can feel the gradient really start to kick in. And as you can see, I'm out of the saddle, and for long periods on this climb I did find myself standing up and dancing on the pedals. It suited my style of riding, and I was running a 34-28, and maybe with a 34-32 you could probably sit down quite a lot more on this climb. And on climbs like this where you are out of the saddle quite a lot, throwing the bike around, I do find that the Shimano Dura Ace wheels work really well, and because they're angular contact, they're better for putting the power through the back wheel rather than cartridge bearings, which don't like to be rocked about too much. And I dare say that with some aggressive riding with certain brands of wheel, you may find that your brakes start to rub. So here we are now, moving on further up the climb, and as you can see, I'm sitting down there, approaching another corner where the climb is really starting to develop. You can see I'm out of the saddle again, and by the looks of my cadence, I'm relying on a lot of weight through my body to get the cranks turned over. Then we approach this interim spot where you do get some respite, albeit very briefly, before you hit the steepest part of this climb. It's straight, there's no relief from the contours of the hill, and it's basically right in your face. It is a real challenge to get up here, and that shot there gives you a really good perspective as to how steep this climb actually is. And then you approach this switchback where you really have taken some height very quickly.
Okay, you're joining me now. Way up on this climb, many switchbacks, and in places that is very steep. It's a good hill if you like a challenge, and I think if you've not got a compact setup, or at least a 28 on the back, you'll find this really hard. Another hairpin bend approaching, and it's taken me a lot of takes to get these shots because of all the cars coming up and down.
So this hairpin now is taking us through the 250 metre contour line, or about 825 feet above sea level. And the gradient is a lot more forgiving here, but look at that for a backdrop with the Calderdale Valley behind. And it's at this section of the road now where you realise you've done a climb. But it's not actually over, although I do stop here to lift the bike above my head and acknowledge this as a proper challenge. We've still got a long way to go before we reach the plateaued summit of Blackshaw Head near Pole Hill. And here we are now, just approaching the actual summit at Pole Hill. We're over 1,400 feet above sea level and we've covered 16 miles. And the one thing that I do like is the sound of them wheels getting up to speed on the tarmac.
Okay, we're on the plateau now. It's 7:30 at night. We're cruising at 26 and 27 miles an hour along the long causeway above the parish of Cliviger. It feels really nice to get some speed back on the bike, having done that big climb out of Hebden Bridge.
And so it was time to start this descent. It's not actually very steep to begin with. It's a gradual drop all the way off the plateau. And as you can see, the road is so straight ahead, but you can carry some good speed along here, around 38 and 39 miles per hour. And if we just fast forward further down the road, where we have a dip and some more speed, we'll rejoin it there.
That's 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, out the saddle! Miles an hour, 28 miles an hour. Okay, it'll start to drop now, and a few bends. That's 39.7, 40 miles an hour. We've got Pendle Hill on the right, Burnley ahead, now it drops. Big right-hander approaching. Nice and quick. Still 31 mile an hour. Right hander. Watch it down here now. Big bend ahead. 36, 37, 40. On the brakes, 38 mile an hour, left hander, then a left hander, right hander, 33, heavy on the brakes. This can catch you right out, big heavy on the brakes. Get the thumb over the back wheel, start pedalling. Okay, and we're off again. 39 miles an hour, big left hander. Well, that was pretty quick then. Well, that were a pretty good descent. Well, the Kettle Drum pub sounds busy. I'm on Redleys Road. We're going left. back towards Todmorden now. See, these descents just as hard as the climbs.
Well, that was a fantastic ride, where I covered 34 miles with over 2,600 feet of climbing. It was a tough ride and I really enjoyed it. But if you like these videos, let me know and I'll make some more for you. And thank you for watching. And if you'd like to see some more of me riding this Rally Ravenio Carbon 3, then why not check some of my other videos out, where I've cycled the Way of the Roses in a day, and I also cycled 150 miles to Abersock for a chippy.